This is one of those moments most people would want to keep private, but instead it's filmed, soundtracked, and shared immediately, which already says a lot about how 6ix9ine approaches situations like this. He walks himself back into jail calmly while music plays and cameras follow him, and the whole thing feels less like someone quietly accepting consequences and more like someone making sure the moment is captured and remembered. There's no panic, no resistance, and no visible emotion, which almost makes it feel rehearsed in a way that's hard to ignore. He turned himself in to begin a 3-month federal sentence after a judge ruled that he violated the conditions of his supervised release, which was the agreement he had been living under ever since cooperating in his racketeering case. That cooperation bought him a reduced sentence and a second chance at staying free, with the understanding that he would keep his head down and follow very clear rules. Watching him here, it's difficult not to wonder whether he ever treated that freedom as something temporary rather than something he needed to protect. He reported to MDC Brooklyn, a federal detention center that has nothing to do with internet drama or influencer culture and everything to do with control and routine. This is the same facility that has housed world leaders and people tied to serious international cases, and it's built to strip away individuality and influence. For someone whose entire career has depended on attention and visibility, ending up in a place like that feels almost symbolic. Even though this moment looks calm and controlled, it feels like the end result of a long pattern finally catching up.
Should I ask you why you going in there for 9 days? Like, can you tell what reason? Or?
I had a close friend / worker. We fell out, and what he ended up doing was met with the feds.
Wow.
And said I had guns in the house.
Did you?
Well, they found a legal gun, and they found 3. But like I said, I'm on probation, so I get full consent to search my house.
Yeah.
Because I know there was nothing there. And I'm on house arrest. So I was released December 12th. I had a complete 3 months of house arrest. March 17th, I was supposed to get out.
Right.
And March 12th, they raided my house.
And this was a close friend, like
close friend.
Out man.
Oh, I ain't like out man. What the fuck?
And then after that, the mall situation.
Mall situation.
Yeah, so I was
talking out there and niggas whooped them.
Yeah, so basically, I was at the mall, and I was shopping with my girlfriend and her son, my stepson, and some guy was like, "Yo, if you wasn't with your family right now, I'd kill you." So I was like, "What?" So anyway, mind you, he called me a rat, and then when we beat him up, because he had a gun on him, we not armed. When we beat him up, he called the cops
Called the police
and made a report. Yeah.
But so he ended up running.
That's internet one.
That's why I said, yo, you can say whatever you want to me. I'ma just whatever. Y'all can have it.
Good, bro. Good.
According to 6ix9ine, everything started unraveling when someone from inside his own circle turned on him. He says a friend he trusted had a falling out with him and went directly to the authorities, telling them there was a gun and drugs inside his house, which immediately brought law enforcement back into his life while he was already under supervision. Once something like that gets reported, especially when you're already being monitored, it's only a matter of time before it escalates. He then talks about the mall incident, where he says someone threatened him and he reacted by beating the guy up. The way he explains it feels almost casual, like it was another situation he handled in the moment without stopping to think about the consequences. There's no shock in his voice and no real sense of disbelief, which makes it feel less like an accident and more like a continuation of how he's always responded to conflict. When all of this gets put together, it doesn't come across as random or unlucky. It looks like the same habits showing up again, the same reactions, the same trust issues, even after everything he went through the first time. After surviving one massive case, it's hard not to question whether he ever believed the rules would truly be enforced again. There's also an irony hanging over the whole situation that's difficult to ignore, considering how much of his career was built around calling other people informants, only for him to end up back in jail because someone close to him spoke first.
When they sent me to prison on Tuesday, me and Maduro was gonna be in the same unit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the real thing.
Yeah, because remember, the president of Honduras was in my unit.
Right.
And the
So
president,
you, Maduro,
the president of Honduras was just released.
He arrives and shows up there, and many of them had tattoos. But he was tattooed too, and he was a person with a very, very extroverted personality, We happened to be doing a little exercise there, and then he asked to borrow a pen to write something because he was talking on the phone, and what he was writing were like verses. And then I asked someone, and who is this guy? And they tell me something like, I don't know, no. They say, he's a famous singer from here. And we looked at each other with respect, with consideration, of course. Two different worlds. He was very extroverted and very cheerful, especially cheerful, because he already knew that in a few days he would be getting out.
This detail changes how serious the situation feels. 6ix9ine says that the last time he was locked up, the former president of Honduras was in his unit, and now he's being told that Nicolás Maduro will be in his unit this time around. That puts him in a completely different environment than anything he's dealt with online. MDC Brooklyn houses people tied to governments and global power, and inside that building, reputation and persona stop mattering very quickly. Everyone follows the same routine, and there's no room to perform or control how you're seen. For someone who has spent years shaping attention through chaos and unpredictability, being placed somewhere that removes all of that influence feels like the one situation he can't really manipulate. At the same time, even this detail feels like something that keeps the conversation alive, because the contrast alone is enough to make people keep watching.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm actually kind of, it's actually like hitting me. Oh God, it's actually like really sad. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. He showed me the most love out of 97% of the people I've ever had on stream, on God. Off stream.
No homo.
No homo. Muff me up randomly, 3 a.m., 2 a.m., what you doing? Let's gamble, like. No, that's a
Aiden's reaction sounds genuine, especially when he talks about generosity and humility and the side of 6ix9ine people don't usually see online. Watching a friend go back to jail is heavy, and that comes through in his voice. But even here, everything is still public. The emotions are streamed, the loyalty is shared, and the reaction becomes part of the larger story. 6ix9ine has always understood how powerful it is when people feel emotionally connected to what's happening in his life, and this moment fits right into that pattern. There's something almost symmetrical about how this chapter looks, considering his rise involved betrayal, and this fall circles back to someone from his own circle turning on him. Right before turning himself in, he and Aiden released a song together, and the timing immediately stands out. It dropped right as the tension around his sentence started building again, which feels familiar if you followed his career long enough. Releasing music during moments like this keeps his name circulating while he's physically gone and keeps people talking even when he can't be online himself. With 6ix9ine, controversy and content have always moved side by side, and it's hard to separate where one ends and the other begins. That naturally raises the question people keep coming back to, which is whether this is simply how he processes everything or whether staying visible matters more to him than sitting with the reality of what's happening. The song released right next to his jail sentence doesn't feel accidental because one keeps the audience engaged while the other removes him from the spotlight. That balance between consequence and content has followed him for his entire career, and it shows up again here.
Yo, boys, all right. Yo, Steve, let's do this on live. Let's cut this off. Let's send my ass to prison.
Shit, Steve.
Oh, this is from my YouTube. All right.
I got 6ix9ine, Steve, I ain't gonna lie.
6ix9ine's about to go to jail, and I think it was meant to be. It's the only way that this, excuse my language, it's the only way this can lose weight.
Yo!
Okay? For
Like
real.
you throw it in there with him if you cut it off.
Do we have something?
Yeah, scissors right there.
Steve?
Let's go, Aiden.
I'll just hold you. I'll hold you like this. Oh my God! Here it comes.
I could do it.
Go hard.
Oh my God, it's coming.
Let's go,
Hey!
baby! 3 months.
Let's go.
All right, come on. We're gonna go to Cuba. Let's go to Cuba.
Go to Venezuela.
This last moment might be the most revealing part of the entire story. The ankle monitor comes off and he's smiling, laughing, and joking with the people around him, without any visible pause or moment where the weight of what's coming seems to land. On the way to jail, 6ix9ine is blasting music and generally just seems to be having a time of his life. I'm pretty sure he knows something that we don't about this whole situation. That reaction leaves a lot of room for speculation. Maybe jail feels familiar to him at this point, or maybe he believes he can get through this the same way he's handled everything else. It's also possible that this is part of a longer play, where even consequences become content and disappearing for a while creates anticipation instead of reflection. That's the question sitting underneath all of this. Does this feel like a real turning point, or does it feel like the same cycle continuing again, just delivered with a calmer tone and better production? Let me know what you think in the comments. I hope you have a great day. I'm out. Take care.